Everything is the light. 8507. In the distance, bolts of lightning flashed, illuminating clouds both in front of the bolts and behind them. The sight was magnificent. I didn't even realize there was lightning, except that I kept thinking that I was seeing flashes of light out of the corner of my eye as I walked. Then I stopped and looked, and I watched zigzags of electricity appear at intervals, revealing the shapes of clouds that I otherwise couldn't even see were there. The thunder was so soft that I couldn't tell if I was imagining hearing it, and it all occurred just in one corner of the sky. On the other side of the sky there was a beautiful full moon, and the sky was pretty clear. I could even see some stars. The moon was so bright, and the diversity of the whole landscape of the sky right now seemed so paradoxical to me. I walked and I walked. Eventually I found rain, and the rain poured down from the sky like light from the sun. I walked through the rain, and I smiled as the water poured over me and bounced off the pavement around me. The lightning crashed and the thunder clashed, and I raised my arms up in the air amidst the rain, and I felt the water drip down my face as I looked up toward the heavens with my closed eyes. When lightning illuminated the world, I could see it through my eyelids. The lightning flashed and the thunder roared, and the rain pitter-pattered upon the pavement and the leaves and the houses, and the world seemed alive with the symphony of light and sound. I imagined the rain became snow, and suddenly lightning illuminated the entire world through my eyelids, and I felt snowflakes falling upon my skin. I opened my eyes to find that it was snowing, big, fluffy-looking, crystal-white flakes. I continued walking, and the snow covered the ground, and I watched the brilliant whiteness illuminate the world with the reflected light of street lamps and the glow of the night. I could feel the cold of the air touch my skin, and I felt aware of my body, and I felt more alive than ever. I began to run through the flurrying snow, my arms stretched out at my sides, and I could imagine myself leaping off the top of a mountain coated in snow and descending into a beautiful green sunlit valley. I could almost hear the babbling of a flowing mountain stream. And then I could see the stream beneath me as I leapt off the mountain and began descending through the air. The air rushed past my skin, and I could feel the cool flow of it, and I could feel my entire body. I existed. I breathed in and watched the greenness of plant-covered earth grow closer to me as I fell toward it. I could almost imagine standing at the edge of a shore off in the distance as giant waves fell at my feet and a strong ocean breeze blew against my skin. And I closed my eyes and smiled as I felt the air against my skin. I could smell the salt of the water. I opened my eyes to behold the ocean in front of me. It was so large, reaching outward so far, onward to the sky. Its waves cast shadows upon themselves, and the sunlight caused the water to glisten. The sand beneath my feet was soft and malleable, and it conformed to my feet, and I could feel the sand, and I could feel my feet against the sand. I could imagine there being just sand, stretching out onward to the sky in waves as the ocean did before me. And the ocean became sand, and the beach became a desert. I walked across the sand, and I walked and walked. The sand never seemed to end, and I could imagine that there was a hidden oasis, a paradise amidst the sand. The Garden of Eden was there, like an illusion, like a mirage, protected by endless sand and the fiery sun. And I came upon a series of trees and a branching of rivers as though they had appeared out of nowhere. As I entered this image of a beautiful forest where birds were chirping in their sing-song voices and the sound of flowing water filled the air with its melody, and the light of the sun seemed utterly ethereal, I knew that I was nowhere, but I was also everywhere. And I walked, and I walked. I knew this was not the Garden of Eden. This was Eden, all right, but it was changed. Eden was a land of ignorance, of naivete. This was the land of wisdom. This was the world of the future, not the past, and yet it was the past, a future past. I beheld all that I beheld, trees that seemed truly ancient, water that seemed to flow with no source and no outlet, and I knew that this was not yet within our grasp. And when I reached out to pick the fruit of a tree, my hand passed through the fruit, and I held nothing in my hand but light. I held light in my hand, and I found this strange, for this wasn't possible. Light reflected off of my hand all the time, and this was how I could see my hand, but this now was different. I actually held light in my hand. I could feel the pulsation of its energy, and I could feel this pulsing spread up my arm and across my body to the other arm and hand and down my torso and my legs and to my feet and up my neck and over my head. I was encompassed in pulsating energy. I was encompassed in light. And the entire garden, the entire world that surrounded me revealed itself to me as light, pulsating vibrations of light. I could feel the light, and it was more than pulsation. It felt like pure positive energy. It felt like beauty. It felt like peace. It felt like joy. Love flowed through me, and I overflowed with it. Love for the world, for everything. I was so distinctly aware of the most wonderful feeling, pure thought, clear-minded knowing, pure feeling, endless love, pure instinctual presence. I was fully grounded in my body, and I was me. Yet I was so much more than me. I was a part of this endless light, this life force, the energy of existence. I was a conveyor of this energy. I felt it flow through me and into the world around me. Yet everything was the light, flowing and wonderful light. It was all oneness, but it was all flowing in relation to itself. And there were streams of energy and blockages of energy and bursts of energy. The world was fizzling with this magical light, and I was part of this magic. I closed my eyes, and I could see the light through my eyelids, as though this was the truth beyond my ability to shut out. Everything else could be manipulated and changed, but the essence of it all was unimaginable. The essence of it all was beyond my capacity to manipulate. I could transform the manifestation of this light in the world of dimension and color, in the world of water and earth and trees and sky, but the light was beyond me. I am the light. Everything is the light, and the world we know is merely its manifestation.